Hey, what is up, guys? And welcome to the quarterfinals of tonight's Magic the Gathering online challenge. Now, some of you may be asking, hey, 1 second, Gil, quarterfinals? Where were the Swiss rounds? So, after 5 hours of recording, about 2 hours of footage, my computer blue screened, and I lost all of the footage as recording direct to MP4. And for those of you familiar with OBS, you'll know that if you're recording direct to MP4 and your device boot loops, blue screens, turns off power, etc., poof, the footage is gone. Gone. So I lost it all. When I say the wind has been knocked out my sails, it's more like it has been sucked into the vacuum of space where I am currently now. So if I seem a little bit out, that is why. It's really disheartening when you have a really good run and your footage just goes up in smoke instantly. That sucks, but we're here. We're in quarterfinals. We're going to recenter ourselves right now, and we're going to get there to victory. So let's start off here. We're going to keep this here. This is a turn 3 Tron. We have double Fleshraker, which throughout this challenge has proven to be an indispensable lethal threat. Hard to believe, I know. I literally ended, I think, on turn either 3 or 4 in the last round of Swiss against Floss Victory. Fleshraker into K Command into something else just to win. It was pretty ridiculous, so we'll keep. Eldrazi temples, not entirely necessary, but if Expedition Map does get forced, that could be beneficial. So let's go E-Temp, just on the off chance it's relevant. Honestly, what I really need to do is I need to get a new computer. I'm still running off of a Microsoft Surface Book 2, and so if you ever listen very carefully to the background of my audio, you might be hearing the fans going into turbojet mode. That is why. This is... I don't even know how old this thing is. This thing is... I've been at my current job for 4 years. We moved here at least a year, maybe 2 before that, so that's 6. And I want to say I had got this before I even transferred stores. I was there for 2. Is it really 8 years old? Hold on, now I have to check that. Let's see. I'm curious. Microsoft Surface Book 2 release date 2017. Oh, it's been 8 years. Yeah, I'm running off an 8-year-old laptop. Breeding Pool Shock for what? Blue Preordain. Why do I fear Neobrand? Why do I fear that right now? Yeah, I for some reason fear Neobrand. But why? Do they run Preordain normally? I don't think so, but combo decks used to play Preordain all the time. Turn 1 Breeding Pool Preordain. Yeah, I think I play Vexing Bauble. The following turn... We actually... Because it's a tower, we can't play much is the problem. Interesting. Very interesting. I really do fear Neobrand here. Draw. Temple. Tower. We just die to Neobrand if they have Neobrand. So something in my head is just ringing that I should play this Bauble. Plain Bauble. I'm passing. Let's see if I was right. Opponent's tinkin. Yeah, I wish this was a power plant, because at least that way we could fetch for tower, then play a Flesh Raker pass. Alright, I will pass in full. Because at least this does beat Rider, Summoner's Pact. So maybe that was enough. I still don't know if I was correct, is the thing. If I was, their only out, I think, main deck is Boseiju. And I have time on my hand. Or my side, rather. Otherwise, what is Breeding Pool Preordain? I generally can't think of anything's the problem. Ent. Oh, Living End. Living End is another option, which Bobble also deals with. Planetary Genesis feels like Neobrand. That feels like Neobrand. Okay. I think I was correct. So in that case, I will play Temple. I will cast Flesh Rake. I will pass. I will hold. I think I was correct. Preordain. Bottom draw. They do run Consign. I do need to be mindful of that. We can fetch for mine. That gives us 5. We would Flesh Rake down to 2 up to 3. Otherwise, we Flesh Rake. Yeah, I think we fetch first with map. Draw. Ugin. So I will fetch with map. Grab a mine. Play the mine. Cast Flesh Rake. Triggers. Go to combat. Swing for 2. Down to 13. Fetch. We'll hold. And hold. Yeah, Boseiju. Don't be a heartbreaker now, son of a... Oh, okay. Planetary Genesis is fine. May put a land from among them onto the battlefield. Alright, we hold. Next turn we can Ugin. Can we just win next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. We might just be able to. Paying cost Preordain. So I don't think they can win this turn at least. Yeah, because even if they were to Boseiju now, they wouldn't have enough for Neobrand. 4, 8. Yeah, I think we have enough to win as it stands. I think Consign would hurt a lot, though. Yeah, that's true. Consign would hurt a lot. I guess in retrospect, Preordain would never be Living End because Living End cascading is it. Living End, if it's Preordained, then whoopsie. So yeah. the end preordained should have been pretty indicative of Neobrand. So really good call on my part for that Vexing Bauble. Very good call on my part. I'm just trying to figure out a way out. I don't think there is one. Because we tack for 4 down to 8. We cast Ugin. Top, draw, Misty Rain. Passing. Draw. E-Temp. Cast Ugin to start. Ugin triggers. Done. Always yield. I will draw a card. Card. In that case, I will cast Karn the Great Creator. Triggers. So it'll be at 4 as it stands, unless you consign to memory. But you also need to deal with this Karn. If you consign, you actually would have enough. Oh. Fetch Misty Rain, Surveil, or consign Forest. And if you consign, you can't Sage you this turn. You'd have to OTK me next turn. And one scripts it up, we got there. Alright, so Neobrand. Win for game 1. That is a very good start. So let's take a look at my sideboard guide. Neobrand. So Cyrus 7, that's out. One of the weakest cards in the deck here. EE out for Grafdigger's Cage and Disruptor Flute. Gives me a card target if we get to a turn 3. That's kind of the hard part, right? Yeah, I think that is right. All right. I guess so like the other option is this. We cut Karn for Sphere. That way we can play it on turn 2. I mean, maybe. Again, it's kind of one of those moments of, do we even get to turn 2? Maybe. But us getting to turn 3 is even less likely, so maybe we do cut Karn for Trinisphere. Yeah? Yeah. I think that's right. Karn can always grab Ensnaring Bridge, can always grab Chalice from the side. Chalice from the side's a bit iffy, admittedly. Probably Liquid Metal Coating or Torpor Orb is more accurate. But let's run it back like this. We have 3 cards that more or less delay or stop them. Okay, this is promising. I will keep a reveal, I'll play, I'll exile, I'll pass. As it stands, we're looking to ramp into Mind Stone. Though if we can find Vexing Bauble, Grafdigger's Cage, that much better. They could play Rider early knowing play Bauble. Yeah, that's the right move. Devour trigger. So now we really need... We'll play the E-temp question mark? I mean, if we play E-temp Flesh Rake, I mean, we could also go for Tezzeret. We'd need to draw into a land, though, in order to play Tezzeret into Grafdiggers. I mean, we have 4 out of 22, 18 hits off top to do so. I think that might be correct. So, Tezzeret, draw. Power Plant, Mind Stone, pass. Because the Flash Raker on its own right now really doesn't do too much. Alright, question of the day. Are we dead on turn 2? Surveil. I need a land for Tezzeret into Grafdiggers. That's what I need right now. Either that or to draw into Grafdiggers, draw into Trinosphere, draw into Flute. The Flute's a little bit rough because we kind of 50-50 Neoform versus Eldritch Evolution. What did you pitch? And Galta. Okay. Pash. Rainforest. Do you have? Please no. Oh. They might just be getting an attack in first. So I'm not OTK'd. But they'll grab Grizzlebrand. Which means now they can pact whatever I play. And they can set up for the OTK next turn. Allosaurus Rider, yeah. Draw. E-temp. So, like, the problem is we did draw into it, so now we're going to force them to have the pact, at least. Tezzeret. I think I take 11 here. Tezzeret minus. So we at the very least aren't going to get OTK'd as it stands. Grab the Grafdiggers. Play the Grafdiggers. Trigger Tezzeret, pass. The next problem is, though, that I'm dead on board, and I don't think I have an avenue to enough mana. Well, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need an E-temp for Sire. However, I only have 1 left in the deck. That's a high bar. Misty Rain. That's 12. Could Nature's Claim the Grafdiggers, I suppose. Down to 5. The question is, do you attack Tezzeret? It'd be correct to do so, and admittedly I can't do anything with Tezzeret right now. I guess actually I can untap the Mind Stone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, Lab does get me Karn to... okay, they're going to attack Tezzeret. It's a moot point. It's no longer an option. We draw down to 9. Lethal on board. If they had gotten greedy, we would have been fine. We would have been fine. Okay. We can make it so we're not dead to Rider, though. So Lab, Imprint, Sire. Cast Glaring Flash Raker. Does Flash Raker resolve? You could just draw cards, consign. Okay, does Karn resolve? We can take up on the cage and block with it. We'll be at 1. I'm not not dead. Silver lining, I suppose. We pass. Cost, Seiju, concede. On to game 3. So we cut the gemstone for the Karn. Yeah? Maybe second Chalice? I mean, we got a turn 2 before their turn 2, so we have a lab into a Mind Stone, into a land, into a Chalice on 2, that would work. So maybe we actually do bring in second Chalice over the 4th Karn. That might make more sense. In fact, maybe we should have brought that in last time over Karn. The other option, of course, is Dismember. That way if they play Rider early, we can Dismember it. And that is also a genuine consideration. Flute, Trinisphere. Like I said, I almost want the Trinisphere on the side. So bring in 2 Dismembers. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah. Alright, let's run it back. On the play for game 3. See, the problem with this is it's great in theory. We have a ton of hits. Okay, so think for a second. We have a ton of hits here. Flute, Graph Diggers, Vaccine Bottle's kind of meh. I'll keep this. Reveal, Devour, or Trigger. Power Plant, there's the Graph Diggers. So we're gonna go Graph Diggers. I will play Power Plant and pass. And pass. So they can play the Rider on 1. They hedge maze first. Into the Flood Maul. They're gonna wish they actually kept that. Graph Diggers, pass. Do you have a Force Negation into Consign? Or Pact Negation, damn. Okay, so that must mean they have a Consign in hand. Yes. So I think I need to K command X equals 2 to dig then. Blue Delta fetch Breeding Pool Shock or Blue Preordain. It's possible they don't have the Rider yet. Draw. Waste. Devour. K command. And done. I mean, there's the mine for what it's worth. Let's us dig deeper next turn if we don't lose on the spot. I will pass, and now we pray. Do you have the OTK? I feel like if they... Pact, no, 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 no. Rider. Thing is, they're going to need Consign for the Pact unless they OTK me here. There's Rider. I do Pitch. Eldritch Evolution, Ent, Neoform. Grizzlebrand. Okay. We're not dead. We're not dead. In fact, we can devour the Grizzlebrand. That is an option. And they should be tapped out unless they have another land. Yeah, they're tapped out currently. I mean, they can draw another 7 for another land. Hold up, Consign. How many packs? Oh, trying to think what my options are here. I need to draw into, I think, Vexing Bauble as well. Because if I don't, I think I'm just kind of sitting here praying. No, 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 no. I mean, we can K-Command X7, but then that leaves the Grizzlebrand on board through the Devourer. That's not good. It's not good enough, at least. Land. So we do have an option for Consign, then. Clean up, pitch a card, draw. I mean, we have the mine. We can do what? I mean, we can turn Devourer. They can consign the Devourer trigger on the Grizzlebrand, right? Galta's how big? What are you? I don't know. It's at least an 8/8, right? Or not an 8 mana value spell. I mean, we could just exile the Galta. There's no shot that... I mean, if the Devour trigger is going to get countered, so too is the K command. So there's no real difference here, I don't think. Devour Destiny. Show me the consign. Grizzlebrand draws 7. There's no way you don't hit a consign. I mean, actually there is. Variance could very well be in my favor for once. I shouldn't say for once. We're actually pretty damn lucky. But we kind of create our own luck, I suppose. We put ourselves in the position to take advantage of said luck. There's no way this resolves, though. Really wish Devour was Ugin. It'd be different. I mean, as it stands, if Devour's body resolves and this trigger resolves, then we're not dead to the OTK. They still need to pay for the pack trigger too. Ooh, hold on. They might not be able to consign if they only have one. Oh. Because they need to pay for the pack trigger. Oh. Interesting. So if they only have one consign, they can't counter this. If they have a pact of negation, they could then consign both, but then they would need another land, which they shouldn't have, for the rider to neoform OTK, right? Yeah. But I don't think they play that many pact of negations. I want to say maybe one at most. Yeah, that would be my thought. Oh. So I think this does resolve. I mean, they're thinking hard, but what about? What could they be thinking about this hard? Either that or they're duo queuing. And I'm just being roped at this point. Huh. Well, the suspense is killing me. But I guess I'll take a quick pause until they've returned? Question mark. All right, the trigger resolved. The body resolves? The body resolves. Okay, we're not dead to an OTK. We have lethal on board. We have a big K command incoming next turn. They have to consign... Ends for a cycle? Okay. They're going to have to consign the pack trigger. So do you have consign? You have to, right? Okay, they have the consign, so they must have only had one. They have enough mana for the Eldritch Evolution or Neoform, whichever one they go for. The thing is, they can't kill me this turn. They can Gulta Xenagos, fine, but I'm not dead. Rider, pitch 2. Pitching Pact and Pact. That's 3 packs they've used. Do they have a 4th Pact? They might need it. Second Rider. Pitching 2 cards. Atraxa Gulta. Gulta is 8. We can exile Gulta next turn if needed. Hooting Mandrills. Okay, they're creating quite the defensive barrier here. Are we somehow in a position where they can't win? Like, if they had the Neoform into Gulta, they could have just done so and they wouldn't have had to play the Mandrills and Allosaurus Rider this way. So they don't have the Neoform or the Eldritch Evolution, right? Just Seiju my power plant. Yes. That will be nothing, though. We'll pass. Draw. Dismember. So we can play the E-Temp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have X equals 5 for K commands. Not enough to kill anything here is the problem. And if we attack, they triple block. K command 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we're short. Ramp Scrydraw. Done. Ugin Power Plant. So bottom temple, bottom Mind Stone, top Ugin, top power plant, and draw. We have Ugin next turn. We have blockers for days. No point in dismembering now. we can hold. Is attacking worth it? The answer is no. I will pass. Paying cost for Planner Genesis. Not enough for Eldritch Evolution currently. Again, we're not dead to the OTK, because we can block 7 plus dismember the Mandrills. Actually, the Mandrills might get me. Preordain. Preordain is fine. One top, one bottom, draw. A Seiju. Paying cost. Neoform. Gulta. Do you have the Xenagos? You do not have the Xenagos, but double Gulta. So you can sack Freyalise, sack a Gulta. Or actually, no. I guess sack a Rider? I guess you could... No, this is fine, I think. If you sack Gulta, you don't have the OTK. If you sack the Rider, then that's fine too. Sacks the Rider, draw Gulta. Trigger. Did you whiff on the one of Xenagos? You did. Freyalise. Gain some life. Sacks the Mandrills. Draw some cards. There's a food. We can get rid of the Gulta with Ugin. We pass. Holy hell, we might be able to get there. Draw. Power plant. Cast Ugin. Trigger. Target Gulta. Gulta, goodbye. Ugin, ETBs, draws a card. Vexing Bauble. Play Vexing Bauble. Ugin, exile Ent. Ent, goodbye. No more Riders. Attacking here doesn't make sense, so we will hold. I think we're just at this point living off of Ugin. If we Ugin alt, we win, so we need 2 turns. GG's, didn't find the second consign, GG's. Oh my god. We got there. We got there, we got there, we got there. Oh. Wicked game, wicked match. Ooh, I cannot complain with that. They're still holding, I'll pass. One of Vexing Bauble MVP. I know, right? Oh, alright. Well, that was a solid win. We'll be back for the semifinals of this challenge. Alright, and we're back for match number 2, semifinals of tonight's challenge on the play for game 1. I mean, we'll keep this. Reveal Devourer, trigger. And we see another lab. So, I mean, we could go Karn on turn 2. That is a genuine option. I think going for the other lab might be right. We'll go lab. In that case, lab, imprint, devourer. cast Bauble and pass. And pass. Scouting Tarn. Pass, draw, lab, imprint Ugin, cast KGC. KGC minus. Now we are on the play, so we could go liquid metal coating. The other option, of course, would be Trinisphere. We play it unless they have a land they have no turn 3. I mean, I think we go with the coating and call it a day, yeah? And hold. Actually, there's no reason to hold. We'll just pass in full. If they bolt the Karn, they bolt the Karn. Hallowed Fountain, shock to 17, tune the narratives. Looks like control. We'll pass. Arid Mesa, passing, draw. Chalice of the Void. Play Eldrazi Temple. Karn minus. Yes. For Trinisphere. Cast Trinisphere. If you counter it, we have Chalice. Or not Chalice, Liquid Metal Coating. If you don't, then you can't play Jack. Counterspell. Do you have Force for Liquid Metal? You do not. Upkeep. Liquid Metal target, pass. Plains. Wrath for 2. Okay. Draw. And we have another Ugin. We can plus. They would need a force here. So I think we're safe just to go K command at the same time. At the same time, if we K command and they have another Wrath, that would be pretty rough. So maybe I hold here, we play Chalice on 2. Could go Chalice on 2, it stops counter magic. And done. And pass. And pass. Scouting Tarn, fetch 13. Island for Teferi. Teferi bounce Chalice? Yes. Draw. Mine. 2, 4, 5, 6. Karn plus. Chalice of the Void for 2 again. Done. Force check. No force. Counterspell cut out. Teferi plus. Paying cost for Quantum Riddler. Ephem. Draw. Show me the Ephem. There's Ephem. We'll pass. They draw another card. Warp, draw. Temple. So in that case, I will cast Ugin. Ugin attempt to exile. Always yield. You need a force, or otherwise Ugin resolves. There's force. Riddler out, though. In that case, Karn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Karn minus. Yes. For Extinguisher Battleship or Leveler, we'll go with Leveler. And pass. Scaling turn fetch down to 12. Surveil. Island to Yard. Rebound. No targets. Teferi plus. Land. Draw. Land. Leveler. Target Teferi. Trigger. Always yield. Leveler ETBs. Karn plus on the Power Stone. Do you have a Solitude? You have a Solitude, so Karn will be down. Leveler is down. We can cast Devourer next turn to exile the Solitude. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Draw. Map. 2, 4, 6, 7. So in that case, let's start with... Yeah, I'll just start with this. Cast Devourer. Exile Solitude, always yield. And cost Ephem. Ephem Solitude, no targets, so they'll rebound, exiling the Devourer. Cast Map and pass. Next turn we'll play Ugin. Rebound. Target, exile Devourer, that's fine. Cost. Ending. Rude. Draw. Power plant. Found anyways. Return to hand. Attempt to exile. Target Solitude. Resolves. Ugin resolves. Plus. Draw. And pass. Paying cost. Solitude. Enters. Resolves. K command. Scry draw exile. Done. Ugin. Exile. Ugin always yield. And scry draw. I will say bottom, I guess it's the redraw, but bottom Tezzeret top draw. And pass. And pass. Mystic Gate. Draw. Ugin. Flush draw. Devourer. Cast Tezzeret. Trigger. No targets. Tezzeret minus. For Walking Ballista. Lab. Imprint. Devourer. Devourer of Destiny. Done. Trigger. no target. Trigger Tezzeret, always yield. EE for 0. Trigger Tezzeret, always yield. And pass. And hold. I mean, we have the win from Ugin alone. Paying cost, Raft the Skies for 5. So we'll ping you. Ping you. Press, hold, save targets. Always yield. Alright, resolve. Doesn't destroy planeswalkers, so we're in the clear. Draw. Ugin alt. And all I really need to do here is Glaring Fleshraker, Glaring Fleshraker, Glaring Fleshraker, and that should really be it. Yeah, that's fine. Done. Glaring Fleshraker, cast. Glaring Fleshraker, cast. Always yield. Always yield. Glaring Fleshraker, cast. And map cast. And we got there. Alright, solid win against control. Let's move on to game 2. So we want Pithy Needle. Let's take a look at my sideboard guide. Control. So Pithy Needle in, Leveler, Battleship in. Cut, Chalice, Explosive, Soul Guide. And run it back. Alright. We have 8 hits off the top, so I will keep, reveal, and pass. Arid Mesa, pass, trigger. There is Lab for the Mind Stone. I think we go that direction instead. So we'll go Lab. Trigger. I'm gonna tuck the Sire 7 Deaths, I think. Cast Mind Stone. Cast Vexing Bauble. And pass. No Evoking Solitudes. Meticulous Archive, Surveil, Mystigate TR. So it tells me I have lands in hand. Not Landlight, at least. Draw. Karn. We could attempt Karn on 2, but we know full well it's going to get countered. We're going to hold and then use the K command as permission. Fetch Scouting Tarn to 18. Surveil. And hold. Put a pause on end step. K command. And done. There's counter spells, so now they need to have a consign or force. That resolves. And draw. Another K command. Play tower. Cast Karn the Great Creator. Fetch Scouting Tarn. Elegant Parlor, Surveil. Does Karn resolve, or do you have a force? Subtlety. Vaccine Bobble says no. Minus Karn. Yes. We'll go for... what do we want here? I suppose just liquid metal coating. We'll go coating. And we'll pass. And pass. I guess there's a world if they Wrath. We do crack the Mind Stone, I suppose. Riddler. Ephem. Draw multiple cards. And then draw one more. And pass. Warp Trigger. Draw. Power Plant. Perfect. In that case, I'm wondering if I can bait them. Minus Karn. Yes. For Ensnaring Bridge. Cast Ensnaring Bridge. Bridge resolves. Alright, wasn't expecting that, I'll be honest. Devourer. Always yield. And pass. And pass, no rebound. Land, tapped, no wrath for 3, draw, K command, cast liquid metal coating, target Elegant Parlor, Karn, plus on Parlor, hold K command, and pass. Let's say you opponent land, do you have a Wrath? There's a Wrath for 3, so in that case, I will tap, I will crack, draw a card, I will crack, draw a card, and will resolve. Chooses not to remove the bridge. Funny. I will, in that case, or we'll go to end step. Go K command. X equals 3. And done. There's Flesh Raker, there's Devourer. We don't need the Mine right now. Well, actually the Mine wouldn't be bad. So top, and draw. And then draw. So we'll play the Mine. We'll cast the Flesh Raker. Trigger. Not yet, I guess. Cast Ugin for, yeah, this is actually good. Ugin, triggers, done, always yield, always yield, always yield, draw a card, plus Karn on bridge, go to combat, attack with bridge. If you don't want to get rid of bridge, I'll bring bridge to you. Pass. and pass, and draw. And cast Fleshraker. Triggers. Always yield. Casting Subtlety. Subtlety resolves. I'll put it on top. I'll draw a card. I will cast another Fleshraker. Triggers. Exile Subtlety. What say you, opponent? I think this should just be the game, even if they were to counter this. They could consign, get rid of Fleshraker, get rid of Ugin, sure. But we have more in the tank here. Fleshraker trigger. In that case, I will minus card. Yes. For Ballista. And cast Ballista. And done. Triggers. No targets. Fleshraker. Ballista triggers. And hold. Save targets. Always yield. And we got there. Bone scoops it up. Clean to a win against control. We are officially in the finals of tonight's challenge. Whew, Eldrazi Tron going strong. 6-1 in Swiss with a 2-0 going into the finals. Currently an 8-1 record. Really excited about this. The list feels fantastic. We'll be back for the finals. All right, and we're back for the finals of tonight's challenge on the play for game 1. And we know what we're playing against. We're playing against Zoo. So we do need strong keeps here. And this is pretty good. Double Fleshraker has been like the game-winning play for a ton of my opening hands. Fleshraker feels really good, honestly. Especially when you can go like Fleshraker into Fleshraker, Fleshraker into Tezzeret, into Ballista to ramp. It's interesting. I like it a lot. Alright. Well, I'll be honest, was really disappointed that the Swiss round footage went into thin air, but happy that I kind of reset myself mentally and was able to record the finals of this challenge. So while it is not the full 10 rounds, I mean, we've had some pretty awesome matches here with Neobrand in the quarterfinals, Control in the semis, and now Zoo in the finals, which this is my only opponent that I've lost to so far. So I do need to be mindful of that fact. Hopefully they don't have a Leyline Binding. Leyline Binding would hurt a lot. Alright, map, pass. Please don't have a Leyline Binding. I beg of you. Flood Strand. Yes, son of a... So now we need to draw into... Okay. That does help things. We had 8 hits, 12 hits off top for the cards we wanted. We don't have many ways of dealing with the binding, unfortunately, short of Ugin, Devour, etc., right? So we'll tuck the Ugin, cast the Fleshraker and pass. I'd love for you not to interact with my Fleshraker, please. No Tribal Flames, no Bolt, no Leyline Binding. Okay. Draw. Another Ugin. Power Plant. Cast Flesh Rake. Pass. So right now we're at 4. 5 mana next turn. We're currently short on the Ugin, however. Would like some color spells to ramp. Mindstone would be good. Tower, of course, would be good. Map would be good. We have a ton of hits. Arena of Glory, are you going to haste in a Sign of Draco? Yes, you are. The bane of my existence. So now I really need a Sire 7 Deaths, honestly. Tower. Karn. Karn is interesting to me. Karn trigger. Always yield. Does Karn resolve? No. Stubborn denial? Yeah. Alright. So now I am what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 land off of Ugin. I'll pass since I can't attack. We'll pass again. If they flage, they're going to Helix the Glaring Flesh Raker. Yikes, a second Sign of Draco. Attack down to 12, 1 card in hand. I need a land here. Land. And it's the tower too. Holy hell. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Ugin. Triggers. Ugin. I think we will target the Leyline Binding here. Always yield. Flesh Raker triggers. Ugin. Ugin resolves. Ugin plus to 9. Draws. We whiff there, but that is okay. I will pass. No attacks. Fetch, Flooded Strand, Surveil. Lush Port. They don't have double white right now, but they do have the Wooded Foothills. If they find Flage, that would be... Son of a... You gotta be joking me, opponent. You are just finding everything you could possibly need right now. Flage, Helix, what? Flesh Raker, I'd imagine? Do I live this through this turn? I should live through this turn. 6. Yeah, barely. Just barely. Target Ugin, that's fine. Attack. Attack Ugin, attack Ugin, attack me. Flage, Helix. Target Flesh Raker. Go to blocks, block Flage. Pause on end step. Return Ugin to hand. Draw. EE. Ugin. Exile Flage. Ugin. ETB. Draw card. All is dust. EE for 0. Done. Exile Leyline Binding. Give me my map back. Play lap. No imprint. I will pass. No attacks. Wooded Foothills, fetch. Triome. Alright. I imagine Ugin goes to 1 at a minimum. Ugin, yes. Down to 1. You have a Bolt, Tribal Flames, Flage, you have a Flage. Flage target Ugin. Ugin down. So we need to draw to something here. Sire's 7 deaths would be the best draw possible. Crack the map. Crack it. For a tower. Draw. Karn, Sire, another Ugin. Draw. Map is not it, though. Cast map so we can thin. And we'll pass. Guess I should hold on the off chance they try and binding the map, I guess. Eight down to 10. If you have double Tribal Flames, you win. No blocks. End step. Crack the map. We'll grab another tower. Untap, draw. Soul Guide Lantern is a redraw at the very least. Soul Guide Lantern. Doorkeeper Thrall. That's fine. I'm okay with this. It not taking Flage is fine. I could care less about that right now. I want to redraw. Redraw. Damn it. That's 9. We'd be on to 1. If they haste something, we're in trouble. So in that case, all is dust. Goodbye. We'll pass. Yeah, I wish I didn't take out the Leyline of the Guild Pact. I mean, I'll pass in full at this point. Not much I can do about it. Down to 2. Do you have Flage? Do you have Bolt? Do you have Tribal Flames? Draw. Concede. Yeah, I feel like a repeat of my last match against this opponent. Brutal. Alright, so let's take a look at our sideboard guide for Zoo. We want EE out, Grafdigger's Cage in, Dismember in, and Cut Gemstone. You want Bobble out, and run it back. Alright, let's see if we can rally back here. Brutal. Yeah, if we had Karn, we would have been able to go for the Battleship. Battleship, sweep the board. That would have been epic. Yeah, the fact they drew into the Flage to get rid of the Ugin was brutal. I mean, 1 or 2 more draws may have been the difference. Maybe. At the very least, it would have also given me a little bit more time. I'm gonna bring Consign, potentially Charmaz. I'll be able to play for game 2. 8 hits off the top will keep. Mulligan's the 6. Reveal Devourer. Devour trigger. We find Tower Mine, we take Mine. Play Tower, cast Map, no Leyline Binding this time, so we're good there. So we should have Tron on 3. So this game is looking more promising off the start. Ragavan on 1. Ragavan is a bit concerning. I'll play the Mine. I'm thinking we Walking Ballista here. The reason why I consider this is that if they do go for a Blood Moon or Charmaw, I'm in trouble. So we'll go Ballista for the Ragavan. We'll hold and hold. More than happy to trade here. Go to blocks, we'll block. Down, land, passing, and draw. K command. So there's no real reason to crack the map right now. Instead, I will play the lab. I will imprint Devourer, and I will pass, holding the K command. Foothills, fetch. Triome. And passing. Steam Vent, Shock. Paying cost for Sign of Draco. In response, I'm going to K command X equals 2. Yes, X equals 2. And done. Tower, Sire, bottom tower, top Sire, draw. Sign of Draco resolves. I will hold. I will draw. Ugin. Crack map for power plant. Play power plant. I will attempt to resolve Karn. Does Karn get countered? It does not. Minus Karn. Yes. For bridge. Ensnaring bridge. Cast bridge. Bridge resolves. Cyan is locked out. We'll pass. And hold on the off chance they Flasia spawn. So no consign from the looks of things then. Okay. Casting Clarion Conqueror is fine. And draw. Lab. We'll hold on that. Ugin. Ugin exile Clarion Conqueror. Always yield. In that case, I will Karn minus. Yes. For Liquid Metal Coating. Cast Liquid Metal Coating. Trigger Ugin, no targets, always yield. Plus Ugin. Draw a card. Play Lab, no imprint. Cast Soul Guide Lantern. No targets. ETBs. And we'll eat the Ragavan. I will hold and hold. Fetch Flooded Strand, Surveil. Yep, we'll go to Upkeep. Draco to Yard. Triome, and we'll hold. Ugin has a clock at this point, and opponent scoops it up. We'll take the win. Alright. Comes down to this now, doesn't it? Again, while we might not have the Swiss rounds, these 3 matches have been pretty intense. So we want the Gemstone Caverns back. We'll cut the Chalice of the Void, since we're on the draw. Alright, let's run it back. So, alright, let's evaluate this for a second. Opponent mulligans down to 6 as a starter. We have 10 hits for a lab, which means 10 hits for a Flesh Rake on 2. Okay, we'll start there. After that, we have another, well, I guess we have 14 hits total. 14 hits total for a Flesh Raker on 2. Sure. We hit one of them. We're down to 13 hits for a K Command X2 on 2. Okay, good. I think we keep this. We'll pass in full. We'll start with Lab unless we draw into a segmented value spell, in which case we'll play the Lab and imprint. Opponent starts with 6, fetches Flooded Strand for Ragavan. Ragavan is, by and large, the worst turn 1 that I can always see. Like, it has been since its printing, and it continues to be now. Tezzeret. Tezzeret's interesting, but not what we wanted to see. We'll play the Power Plant, we'll pass. I mean, if they turn to Moon here, I'm in trouble. Temple Garden Shock to 15. Ragavan hits, and probably Pilfers one of my 14 that I want. Map is less than ideal, but fine. Would have liked that myself, and now it allows them to ramp. Draw. Power Plant. We whiffed. We'll play the Power Plant, and we'll hold. We took a bit of a risky keep here. Now opponent will go off. Doorkeeper Thrall. Which means if they have a Flage... that would be a problem. 3 down to 15. Ragavan Pilfers. That's another map. You need more maps? Surprised they didn't... Okay, they already have a land, that's fine. Alright. So Ragavan somehow hasn't hit one of our 14. Draw. Dude. Lap. Trigger, no imprint. Done. Hold K command X equals 1. Fetch Wooded Foothills, Surveil, or Triumph. Triumph. Okay. I was hoping they would crack a map. Go to combat. Attempt to exile Ragavan. Ramp, exile. Attempt to exile Ragavan. Done. Pass in full. Here comes Consign or Stubborn Denial. There's Consign. At least we get a Consign out of hand, admittedly. 3 down to 12. What does Ragavan Pilfer? Ragavan Pilfers, Devour of Destiny. Okay, they finally hit one of my 14, so now down to 13 hits off top. Enable one of these labs. White. White. Clarion Conqueror? Map Crack. Okay. Why cash in Flooded Strand? Plays Flooded Strand. Cracks Flooded Strand. 13. Why cash in Godless Shrine? Shock to 11. Clarion Conqueror. So yes, I would really like one of my 13 hits. Go. Okay, we got there. So, trigger. Imprint Sire. Shields are down, so we can cast K command, Rampant Exile, Exile Clarion Conqueror. And done. Clarion Conqueror is down. And that means that we can play the Sire next turn. That's significant. We can block the Ragavan as well. That's another option. I will block the Ragavan. We need to stem the bleeding a bit here. Down to 11. 2 cards in hand. Fetch Arid Mesa. Surveil. Surveil. Looking for a Flage. Keeps it on top and passes. We draw. Fleshraker. Play Lab. No imprint. Done. Unfortunately, I won't be draining them because of Doorkeeper Thrall. Fleshraker. Does Fleshraker resolve? Fleshraker resolves. Fleshraker. Triggers. Always yield. And then yield. I'll cast Tezzeret. Triggers. Minus. For Walking Ballista. Walking Ballista. Done. Triggers. Imagine if Doorkeeper Thrall wasn't here. Alright, we'll pass and hold. So Ragavan's out of the picture. They clearly have no Consign. They didn't have Flage on top either. They had a Bolt or a Leyline Binding. I feel like they would have used it earlier. Go to combat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Attack with Ragavan, attack with Thrall. Attacks Tezzeret, attacks Tezzeret. In that case, I will go to blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Go to blocks. Block Ragavan. Tezzeret's down. Plays a mountain. White for bindings. They found binding. Binding's a flesh rake. Okay. Draw. Power plant. 2, 4, 6. Return sire to hand. Cast sire 7 deaths. Trigger. Go to combat. Rock map. For Triome, they can cycle the Triome. If they can't deal with the sire, they will lose. Down to 8. Doing so will put them to 1. That is notable. Did we win? We got there. Man, tonight was a roller coaster of emotions. I was riding high into quarterfinals and top 8. My computer blue screens, which meant that I lost all the footage from the Swiss rounds. I was like, do I even record the remaining matches? Am I going to record 2 videos tomorrow so I can put one out by 3 p.m. CST? I was just sitting here. I was tilted. For lack of a better term, I was freaking tilted. Found the motivation to recenter myself. And from there, started recording again. And we were able to record 3 amazing matches. 3 amazing matches for the quarter, semifinals, and finals. I'm still disappointed by losing those other 7 rounds because some of them were freaking fantastic. The deck was firing on all cylinders. Out of all 10 of my matches today, I have only lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 games. 5 games out of my 10 matches, which is insane. A ton of 2-0 wins, really solid results from the deck. Tezzeret feels great. The deck feels great. I think honestly the weakest card in the deck, by and large, might be Sire 7 deaths. And that's saying something, because Sire is an absolute house into these aggressive matchups like Zoo, which Zoo was my only match loss out of all of this. So we did end up with a 9-1 record at the end of 10 for the win in a 70-person challenge. I am absolutely thrilled. Again, disappointed that we don't have the Swiss rounds, recordings of those, or footage of those, but really happy I was able to record these, and really happy that we got the win. I think the deck is well positioned in the current meta. I think Tezzeret allows for a lot of utility that the deck otherwise didn't have, or really leaned into Karn in order to accomplish. Tezzeret, in some ways, based on the package that you build, acts as Karn numbers 5 through 8, right? Especially into some matchups where Tron was originally not really good in. I'm thinking of Ruby Storm. I'm thinking of Amulet Titan, right? Even Goryo's Vengeance at times, or Neobrand. The card allows you to just pull those hate pieces out of main, go, cool, I have assembled Tron on 3, I'm on the play against Ruby Storm, play Tezzeret, resolve Tezzeret, minus Tezzeret, grab Chalice. Chalice for 2, done. Basically, you're running 8 versions of Karn there, because Karn in that instance would go cast Karn, resolve Karn, minus Karn, Trinisphere, done. So I think Tezzeret really does add an additional layer to the deck that the deck otherwise didn't have. Not to mention be able to grab finishers like Walking Ballista, its synergies with Glaring Fleshraker, and just basically being able to storm off them. I think the list really is feeling solid. So, wicked happy about that. Super thrilled about the win here. I haven't been able to play in a lot of challenges, to be honest, so being able to jump back into this one and claim victory is super, super awesome. It's a really great feeling. But with that being said, that there will be the end of today's video. As always, if you did enjoy it, please do consider hitting the like button. Comment down below if you did see any lines that I missed, any mistakes that I made, or any general feedback. It'd be much appreciated. For as much that I hope that you all learn from me and both my success and failures, I hope I can learn from you all as well. Last but not least, if you have reached a point in the video and haven't already, please do consider hitting the subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer to our next goal of 1,000 subscribers, at which point we'll be able to start monetizing these videos, which will not only allow me to start saving up for a stream PC, but I can replace the PC I'm currently using. I think we did the math earlier and it is 8 years old. It's been a trooper. Let me be clear. This thing has been with me through a lot in my life. Yeah, 8 years. Wild. More than a quarter of my life. Strange. So any support is really appreciated. If you do want to support me monetarily in the meanwhile, you can do so over my Patreon, where you can get early access to my YouTube videos. With that being said though, folks, I will see y'all next time. Bye-bye!